Organized Labour has called off its nationwide strike. The Labour Union has given SNIT 1 month to engage it and resolve outstanding issues affecting SNIT operations.
The Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Dr. Yauba, was addressing a news conference in Accra. He recounted a letter from SNIT signed by the board chair Elizabeth Ohene on terminating the sale of the hotels. Based on that, Organized Labour agreed to call off its nationwide strike. The Secretary General said Organized Labour has given SNIT 1 month to resolve outstanding issues.
SNIT informed Organized Labour that it has terminated the sale of 60% of its stake in the hotels. At an emergency meeting held today, Monday, 15th July 2024, Organized Labour has decided to call off the strike. All workers are requested to resume work on Tuesday, 16 July 2024. We are giving SNIT 1 month to engage Organized Labour to address all outstanding issues related to the management of our pensions.
The Executive Secretary of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association and also the Chairman of Forum, Isaac Bampoado, insisted Labour will ensure the reform of SNIT is done.
Let's state this. That this animal farm style of governance must give way to scientific thinking. But what you stated here is that we are giving SNIT 1 month to address all issues relating to our pensions, and that's what we stand by.
Other union leaders said Organized Labour will not hesitate to resume its nationwide strike if SNIT fails to address the outstanding issues within 1 month.
We have given an ultimatum to SNIT to engage the leadership of Organized Labour within a month to address all the outstanding issues related to our pensions, the management, the governance of SNIT, and all those issues that we have problems with. So if by the 1 month they have not done that, then you would see the action of Organized Labour. We will set out to call for the dissolution of the board and everything that will have to follow.
Our people were not happy with the issues that are going on together with the economic conditions. So they were looking for an avenue to vent out all that was in them. And they thought this was an opportune time, the time was ripe, and we did it well. It is good we took this action because somebody has listened to us, which means that all the outstanding issues, if we go well with it, somebody will listen to us.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong.
Meanwhile, Abraham Kumsin, who leads the Federation of Labour Unions, says Organized Labour wanted to extend the strike until the SNIT board is dissolved. He says if nothing concrete comes out of the meeting with the SNIT board within the period, they will advise themselves.
We have decided to get some 10 from us, from TUC, 4 from TUC, 4 from Forum, which is made up of the teachers, the nurses, the civil servants, and all that, and then GFL 2. So we add up to 10, so that we will engage them, let them know the terms of reference we give to them, let them know exactly what we are looking for. So within the week, we are going to do that work so that when they engage the SNIT management, they will know exactly what we are looking for.
We'll stay on Labour, and all 8 outpatient departments at the Kibu Teaching Hospital was shut down following the nationwide strike by Organized Labour yesterday. Now, although Organized Labour suspended its strike, local chairman of the Health Services Workers Union at the facility, Caesar Bauer, says they will only call off their strike when they are advised accordingly by leadership. Judge Queenin reports.
Janet Danso is here with a 76-year-old husband who is battling cancer. After several failed attempts at many health institutions to stabilize her husband's condition, it was a big blow when they were turned away when they visited the Kibu Teaching Hospital. All outpatient departments were shut down early Monday morning. New patients could not be attended to per the roadmap of the strike. Janet Danso was helpless.
By almost strike nti daso te he twen de ebisi ifi achemu wanchi ton na ye de aba.
We were told that staff were on strike when we got here. We are coming all the way from Achimwenchi, and we are already exhausted. Government must intervene because we are helpless.
This is the surgical OPD, one of the over 7 OPDs here at the Kibu Teaching Hospital. And on a normal day, I'm told that here gets packed with relatives and patients. But because of the strike, is what it is. The place looks virtually deserted. People that come here are turned away because they cannot be attended to due to the ongoing strike. Consultation rooms were equally shut down. At the Kibu mortuary, attendants were not receiving new bodies. The frustration on the faces of some relatives said it all. Chairman of the Health Services Workers Union feared more deaths should the strike persist.
Dead bodies are in the ward, but the mortuary are not going for them. Are you getting me? So you go beyond 24 hours, master, you know, people will die. But you know, see, some patients, you see the car going, they are the patients that they are sent their way. How much for it to go to that award that you are saying? No. It should have. So I'm begging for the authorities if they can do something for us to resume tomorrow.
Whilst on a situational report here at Kibu, we got hint that organized labor has called off its strike. But nothing has changed here. The strike is still persistent at the Premier Hospital.
I'm the branch chairman of Kibu. So if my leaders as national call me right now that we should make sure to call off the strike, we'll go by their directive and call off the strike. But as of now, it's still stand. We are still on strike till I have the letter from the national. So I wanted to give him the same letter, tell her that we call off the strike. As of now, we haven't received any letter, so I cannot call off the strike.
Leadership may have called off a strike, but local leadership at the Kibu Teaching Hospital is awaiting a directive to suspend its strike. George Queenan, TV3 News, Kibu, Accra.
Now, Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North, Andy Apiakubi, has justified the move by government to amend parts of the Road Traffic Regulations 2012. Now, the proposed law seeks to allow MPs and some key government officials to use sirens while exempting them from speed limits. These proposed privileges that were previously reserved for emergencies have sparked public outrage. Christian Yali reports.
Give way, clear the road. That is the command. This is very common to Ghanaians, and for many, it can be offensive sometimes. Government is seeking to permit MPs, ministers, and other key officials to use sirens and speed at any limit they wish to meet deadlines and schedules. Despite raging debate over the move, MP for Asante Achim North, Andy Apiakubi, says the proposed reforms are necessary, saying failure to implement could cost the country so much.
You subject people into the conditions of traffic on the road. Such people cannot meet the deadlines, and therefore it is imperative for us to give some access to them to be able to meet the deadlines.
Far from these justifications, the Bureau of Public Safety says the proposed law must be withdrawn, saying it may cause more harm than good.
At best, we should retain the speeding and the mounting of sirens to the presidency and leave it with the emergency services.
Some members of parliament agree the proposed amendment are not needed.
What do I need a siren for? To go where? Where are you in a hurry to go? And I think that, look, we should be very sensitive to the interests and aspirations of our people and to be sensitive to where the country is today. I think it's absolutely unnecessary.
If we view it critically and we are to get any support to get to a destination quickly, we can always invite a motorcade. I mean, I think that is allowed.
And so we're very lucky to have some benevolent drivers decide to allow us to cross. There's a zebra crossing that is not so much respected, and the street light here is not working. And so the concern really is that if this law is allowed to pass, and MPs, ministers, judges, and what have you allowed to speed at any limit they want, then indeed the lives of people like the school children I cross the road with would be in danger.
If they want to have like freedom on the roads and then drive at any speed limit they want, then they should put in place proper road networks.
Always be ano. Abundant mukachoma. Se sorry nya bona eba. When one crasa ujina. ATM de memfuaso.
Concerns are rife and opposition is building over this move.
I don't see why we have to impugn hatred, impugn jealousy, impugn mistrust into the provision. It is omnibus and it covers a lot of institutions. So attempts to single out one particular institution for rebuke is not fair.
But with the LI yet to be laid before Parliament, many would expect that the necessary action is taken on it. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Accra.
Well, some Ghanaians have been expressing their opinion about the new LI to give MPs immunity to use sirens and speed.
It was a little challenge for us because we were in the traffic and before we realized we heard a siren, a car coming, and we need to give space. My car was a victim. They broke my side mirror and I was the one to go and fix it myself. So I think it will be the best if they will also follow the proper channel. So if I also have my money to buy my V8, I can go and fix the siren. And when police stop me, I'll tell them that I'm also picking this so-and-so minister.
Normally, sometimes on the road, the way sometimes there's a traffic on the road and they just come straight to pass by. Sometimes it's not really okay.
Most of us, we have our agencies, like things that are urgent to us. Some of them use it just to skip traffic, which is unnecessary because most people are going to work. We don't know what you two are going to do, but we all have the importance of what we are going to do. So I don't think it's necessary. Unless it's something important, there should be, like maybe ambulances are okay. Most people also now, because they are doing it, most people have the luxury of buying V8, also install these sirens just to skip. You will not even see police escorts, but these sirens will be just making noise for people to just shift their cars or just move, creating inconveniences.
The traffic is it's very risky, so they have to be very careful.
Let's do some more stories. And for the second time, the NDC minority resisted the laying of the controversial lithium mining agreement in Parliament. Less than 40 MPs, from both sides, were present in Parliament on Monday for proceedings.
The Tamale Central MP Murtala Mohammed first set the tone for the House not to even sit to consider any business, as the majority, despite having a number of bills to consider, was engaged in visible political campaigning.
What we were voted by our constituents and the people of this country to do, we could have done that. But we have decided to act responsibly for the good of this country, for our elected people who we are representing, for Mother Ghana. So I really don't think that it is appropriate that they rely on our numbers to execute businesses they bring to this House.
Majority Chief Whip Frank Anodompre beckoned the Speaker to ignore the calls, as they had papers needed to be laid inclusive of the controversial Lithium Agreement.
We have already given directives that we proceed to take public business.
Yes, let me address the issue he has raised.
Mr. Speaker, we are saying that it will not be nice for the lithium and the bauxite agreements, the Speaker, to come through Parliament with lightning speed. But Mr. Speaker, we have only 2 weeks or 3 weeks to go on recess. Then you lay this paper today. Mr. Speaker, have you forgotten the Ajampa deal?
Did it come before the business committee?
If it is the case, Speaker, if it is the case that that is the argument, all the papers that were laid last week did not come before the business statements. That is the statement of fact. Now, we are masters of our own rules. If it is about the business committee, it is neither here nor there. It is neither here.
Laying of papers, when they are on the audit paper, the critical issue that has been raised is the fact that it never went before the business committee. So when leaders disagree on that, it becomes a challenge. We will have to take 1 hour suspension of sitting. Sitting is accordingly suspended.
The Speaker was forced to suspend the House for an hour to get the numbers in for business of the House. After an hour's suspension, the numbers further reduced beyond 40. The Speaker had no option.
Head count 24. The House stands adjourned.
As to politics now, the CPP has challenged the running mate of the MPP, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, to a debate about the achievements of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and President Akufo-Addo. Now, this follows what the party describes as derogatory comments by the Menchia South MP, former, against the persona of Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
The CPP says it is happy about the apology rendered by the Menchia South MP, but has not accepted it. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh continued to face criticism for suggesting that no head of state in the history of Ghana has developed the country better than President Akufo-Addo. The Convention People's Party disagrees. The CPP Director of Communications, Sylvester Sapon-Soprano, in setting the record straight, called for a debate.
In 2 weeks from today, we are challenging Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh to a debate on the record of President Akufo-Addo versus the record of President Kwame Nkrumah at the British Council Hall in Accra. Or if Dr. Napo prefers, we can have the debate at the MPP headquarters. We are ready to have the debate at the MPP headquarters any day. In fact, we hope you will not be afraid to show up for the debate.
He said gaining independence under the leadership of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah alone is enough achievement.
CPP, led by President Kwame Nkrumah, secured independence for Ghana. That is one single, very critical item. We are all Ghanaians because of that fact. We want Napo to tell us what President Akufo-Addo has done that compares to securing independence for the Republic of Ghana. The only independence I see from President Akufo-Addo is the financial independence he's giving to people like Napo and the rest of them.
Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Accra.
Let's do health now. The Eastern Regional Ghana Health Service Directorate has reported an increase in the dengue fever cases to 11 across 5 districts in the Eastern region at a press conference. Currently, 57 samples are awaiting confirmation from Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research.
I think I need to state that dengue is not rare in Ghana, just that it's also not too common. I think last year we had about 7, and I think 2 years ago we had 1. So what is important is that the presentation of dengue is a bit similar to malaria. So you may have a fever, you have general bodily weakness, you have a headache, you have nausea, vomiting. So typically somebody will just say this is malaria. But then what will give you out is that you treat with the normal antimalarials and there's no improvement. So that's the catchword here. The other issue is that...
And that's our wrap up the 6 a.m. news right here on TV3. My name is Judith Brown. Let's take a break. We'll come back with the rest of New Day.